Hello there, survivors. Welcome back to ARK Survival Ascended. Today, I've rebuilt this ruin in the snow biome on Extinction using mostly the premium custom cosmetic Klingers Concrete, which I can definitely recommend for this type of build because it's a really cool looking modern skin with a lot of variations for these concrete looks. But of course, if you don't want to spend that money, you can also just build it out of normal stone, or maybe using the wasteland skins, or even just looking for some other free custom cosmetics that get you a cool look. But I really wanted to try and build something with this concrete look, and it actually matches very well with the existing ruin structure. Now for the glass, you can of course use either greenhouse glass, although that doesn't look too good, of course, you can't really look out of that. But there's also many custom cosmetic options if you don't play with mods. In my case, I used Architect Structures Remastered because it just saves me having to skin everything again, and they have a really good glass texture. Now, if you're interested in building in this location yourself and you're wondering how I did this build, I did this live on stream, so you can fully watch that stream back on my channel. But I will be editing that stream down a little bit into a video so that it hopefully won't be as long to watch the whole thing if you need some inspiration for your own base if you want to build here. With that being said, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's jump into the full tour of this awesome snow ruin base. There we go. Here we are at the snow ruin, one of my favorite new locations on Extinction, because I mean it just looks really good in my opinion. And now that we've rebuilt it, it's definitely a giant base that should give you enough space to do most things that you want to do. As you can see, we got multiple layers here. It's been decorated as well, and yeah, we should have space for everything. You have room for your tribe tower, everything. I think you can pretty much do all that you need to do. I even turned this little part into a extra dino pen for maybe your bigger tames with a behemoth gate in here, and then also blocking off the back with a normal gate and wall. So yeah, that you can in fact store also some of your bigger tames that maybe don't fit into the built-in dino pen that we have in the base itself. And then, as I said in the intro, I've used mostly concrete skins from the premium custom cosmetic from Klingers. But if you do not want to buy that, although I do recommend it, as you can see, it does look really nice. There is actually also some other options. Actually, just painting Adobe with gunmetal gets you a pretty close look, like it looks pretty good as well. So that's an option. And of course, there's plenty of other skins. You could even use the wasteland ones. They fit in quite well with these ruins as well. So it kind of depends what kind of look you want to go for. But there's definitely enough options if you do not want to buy a custom cosmetic. Although, I mean, I really enjoyed building with this one. It's definitely a really nice one. We got a little garage here so that, yeah, we can have our cars, we can drive them down the road. So yeah, we have a battle rig right here, which is ready to leave the garage, as you can see. Yeah, I figured that definitely with this new addition, of course, you probably want to have a garage. And technically it did fit in the build, but then there wouldn't be room for your dinos. And yeah, I thought having the garage here actually does make sense. There's a decent space for it. You could even build some more around it if you want to, but I decided not to because we already built a lot on the inside. So yeah. But yeah, there is room for your car, and of course the advantage of this is this ramp. I don't think a lot of dinos will be tracking you up this ramp, so you should be relatively safe. There's not really a way to get up there from the other side, like maybe they would walk up, but I very much doubt it. And if you just add some turrets along the entrance, you should definitely be fine here. You do have some trees growing on your path, which I tried to take down, but they keep getting back. So I guess if you really want them going, you need to place some structures around, but otherwise you can just gather some wood right in front of your base. Might be quite convenient as well. And then here we have the entrance using one of these new cellar door variations, the hangar door, which really makes for a nice big entrance. And that should allow most dinos to still get inside of your base. And then this first layer is like the dino pen. I've decorated a little bit with the Western Deco mod, where you get all these hay variations just to give a little bit more life to this, as currently I don't have any tames on this map and I didn't want to just spawn random ones in. We've got some feeding troughs here as well, using some of the Quantum custom cosmetic, which is also another premium mod, which has some really cool skins for your utilities as well as for your structures. Then we have a big window to enjoy your view, which I definitely like. You know, you can just look out over the beautiful snow biome. We've got a little bit of a cryo fridge corridor here, so you can also cryo up a bunch of your tames. Another feeding trough, some lights, of course the new grinder, so that if we want to, you can get some kibble going here, nicely tucked into this corner, which is quite nice. And then we have some of the other stuff that we need for diners as well as a beautiful balcony with our transmitter so that you could transfer off. Yeah, just having it here. We have a bunch of these balconies. I wish this was a usable terminal, but apparently this is a fake one. So yeah, it's just here for show. But we do have a beautiful view here from the balcony over much of the snow biome, which is actually really nice. And surprisingly, snow doesn't actually stick to structures here, which might be a good thing, because otherwise everything inside would have been covered by snow as well. And although I do like the look of it on the outside of structures, definitely has no place being inside of your build. So maybe for the best in this location, makes it a lot more cool to use. Then on the next layer we have a little kitchen where we come up with the stairs, so we have a little place to sit here. We have some of the cooking structures here as well available to use, so you can easily prepare all your food. Then here we got some of the new taxidermy stuff, showcasing some of the new creatures to kind of fill up some space. We have another lovely little balcony with some places to hang out. Decided to add a little bonfire here as well, embracing a little bit of the wasteland vibes here. But yeah, another lovely view and some really cool design language, I think, here with these beams holding up our build, which I think looks quite nice. We have a little bit more of the actual build here. This is the part, of course, where we did most of the building. We have the supports, we have a nice supporting back wall there, and then of course this layer as well has some really cool design in it, where you kind of can bring in your own creativity, because much of the ruin, of course, is, well, I wouldn't say easy, because lining up the foundations is definitely tricky, and I actually managed to do it in such a way that the foundation support is linked throughout the entire build. So every time I go up to a different layer, there's still foundations and it's connected to the same grid as the other one, meaning that, for example, for stairs and for these bits that stick out, they all share the support, so it makes it a lot easier to get some cool designs in. Yeah, and then we have some artifact pedestals here, some library, a little reading corner, and then this is where we can hatch some of our dinos. Another beautiful window, so we have a view to enjoy it, and then a fridge for some eggs and stuff like that as well. Then over here we have the main crafting room. So yeah, there is a lot of crafting going on. This is actually the replicator, but just using one of those quantum skins. A lot of my structures are using the factory skins. I'm trying to just use the skins because I have the premium custom cosmetics. I might as well use them, but of course you could just have the normal structures as well. Just showcasing how much space we have here. You can see we have all the structures that you would need in here, and we still have plenty of room left. I have visual storage installed, so I made this as my storage system, but of course you could also just have a wall of vaults, or maybe dedicated storage instead, because there's definitely room enough everywhere to have all your storage, all your crafting in one place. And then we have a lovely little balcony here as well to enjoy our view. Maybe park some of your flyers, easily accessible with your storage and crafting room. You could even fly in with your gathering tames, of course. And then all the way at the end we have our lovely little bedroom. So we got some normal bunk beds here for respawning. We got some of the sleeping pods, of course, to get some experience whilst you're not online, and then some personal cryo fridges, some personal storage in the bedroom. We got a lovely little lounge area here, piano playing music, and this is then the quantum custom cosmetic skin for the fireplace, which turns it into a really nice modern fireplace. So yeah, just a nice little place to hang out. And then if we go back this way, oh, by the way, I also added some of these steampunk decor. This is a mod where you have some lovely decor, but I love these pipes. And I think for the industrial look that we have going on here, it actually fits in quite well too. So I might actually add a few more of these around the build, because I think they add a lot of cool character to it. Then if we go up through the kitchen, there's another staircase, by the way. Very cool little bit of design going on here. I don't know, I didn't forgot to show it off. But yeah, we got this little slit in this wall, creating a really cool effect. Definitely a really unique design piece. And then we can go all the way up to the roof, and this is where you have a lot of space, plenty of space for bigger flyers to be parked here, wyverns, stuff like that. We have the tribe tower as well, and you know, we have plenty of room left still, so that is good. It's powered. We have, of course, turrets and stuff to protect ourselves from snow owls or manas that are jumping by and wanting to pay us a visit. Yeah, and then just you have plenty of space left over here, as you can see. So yeah, a pretty sizable roof. And then we decided to turn the last ruin that is on top here into a big greenhouse. So we have a lovely big greenhouse. In this end of it, it actually gets full greenhouse effect. The rest of the build unfortunately doesn't everywhere. But some spots, I guess, will grow a little bit faster. Got all survivor mate ready. We got some fridges, some vaults, and some water set up. And this is all also using the concrete skins, even on the crop pots, which makes them look quite cool. But yeah, you have a big greenhouse. So this is really an all-in-one base, because there is so much space. You might have been able to tell by now that this ruin is actually huge. If you build all the layers up, you have an incredibly big base with a lot of space to use for yourself. So yeah, we have a built-in dino pen, we have crafting and storage, bedroom, we have a kitchen, we have so much space, more than we can actually use. We have a little garage, and then yeah, a lovely amount of balconies to enjoy the view and just be able to park plenty of your flyers quite safely as well. It's a really cool, unique location. I was very excited to be rebuilding a ruin again because, well, if you followed my channel for longer, you know that I used to do this a lot, especially on the island. I was really excited about rebuilding ruins. On Scorched Earth, a little less so. The ruins weren't that enjoyable to rebuild. The center was even worse because, well, you kind of only needed foundations. But this one was really fun to rebuild. Quite a different kind of ruin, of course. A lot more modern, but it actually makes for a really cool base and a very usable base. So if you don't mind living in the snow, I don't think it gets too cold here. And this spot doesn't seem to be too bad with like creatures that are around here. So it's actually not too hostile, and it's still quite close to the wasteland itself. So even if you want to go out into the wasteland or into the city, you're not that far off. If you're wondering, it's located right here on the map. So you're pretty close to the wasteland. You can still easily get to the city, and it's just a really cool and unique base location. And of course, if you add some teleporters to your base, you can even more easily get around and yeah, go to the other parts of the map. But this is definitely a really cool and unique base location to consider. And especially if you don't want to build too much, because already just by laying down the foundations, you'll have a pretty big and usable base without really having to design a lot. The only real designing for build-wise is there. Of course, getting the foundation down in the right shape can be a little bit tricky, but with a little practice, you can actually line it up and it's all pretty much square. So from there, you can pretty easily turn this into your giant base. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this base design. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I think this one came out great, and this really is convincing me to move over and join the snow biome and live here. There's actually another one of these ruins in this biome, so if you want me to rebuild that as well, let me know down in the comments below, and I hope to see you in the next video or stream. For now, goodbye.